constituents to prioritize what they want done. And then the work of the county executive is to apply that, man. When you separate, then the watchdog will truly play the watchdog role. And I want to say here and now that even when I was a member of parliament, when CDF started, I actually was opposing it. I was of the view that that's mixing the role. And you now make a watchdog less effective because they too have skeletons. That is what has happened. Yeah.
Do you think a finance bill is necessary? And I ask this because if, or is it inconsequential? Because if what it's supposed to be used for is actually being done, would we have these pain points that we see? It wouldn't matter if you were going to amend a finance bill or amend a finance act in the next year if you were sure that the things that you said they were going to be used for are actually being done. I mean, we give examples all the time of Scandinavian countries who are taxed about 50% of their income, but they're not going to have to spend another cent on some of these things that we talk about,
on health, on
education, right?
Yes.
So would it matter if the finance bill was there or not, if the purpose of it was actually being fulfilled?
The finance bill is necessary because it's a means of the government letting the people know how it is mobilizing money, that's ways and means, and the expenditure part of it. How are we going to apply it? So that's part of the open and transparent way of dealing with things. And it enables the public to participate. It also enables Parliament to authorize, because by electing an administration, you don't give them a blank check. You keep a tab on how they are spending every year. So a finance bill is necessary. What we do not need, and we must uproot completely with the roots, is impunity. We must follow the laws, not violate them. We must apply the money. When you seek to run a country called Kenya, know that the manual for running Kenya is the Constitution of Kenya. And be ready to follow the manual without violating it in any corner. So the finance bill is necessary, but let us observe the rule of law.
Whilst finance bill is necessary, one asks the question, how does the finance bill then help achieve Kenya's vision? Where am I going with this? If you take a country like China, their vision is so clear on where they want to go. They have a vision that will span the next 25 years. So even if a finance bill or how they will fund that is coming out every year, it is clear on where they want to go. Kenya today, we had Vision 2030. Does it even exist today? Is it being implemented?
The message to Kenyans is simple. The problem is not the finance bill, because we will always have a finance bill. It's the leaders that you choose, knowingly. You choose leaders, we choose leaders who have no integrity, knowingly. You see, we wish it away. And we even excuse leaders and say they have changed. Do not elect leaders you're not sure of. We need a leadership that can be trusted. A leadership that will follow the law. A leadership that will respect the people who put them in power. When you ignore the people's wishes, you are showing them contempt. It's a contempt card. That's what Ruto is showing us when he says Ebola must come. When his government spend the money the way they are not supposed to, it's a contempt card. When Parliament passes a budget that is oppressing the people, and we are crying as the people, it's a contempt card. So to Kenyans, to fellow Kenyans, why do we elect people who despise us, who disrespect us, who do not even see our humanity? Because if they recognize our humanity, the administration would not send law enforcement agencies to kill. That every time is tear gas, it's injuries, it's death. We are not hearing any uproar in Parliament about the number of deaths in police stations alone. The number of random deaths through abuse of guns in the streets, even when there is no demonstration. So these are people who do not even recognize our humanity. So can we be careful? Because the season is coming along again. Is it money? Or are you going to go for values, for people who feel for you, for people who will act in your best interest? That is the question. And for you to know who we are, it's not what we are telling you today. You want to look at the journey of a person as a leader. Because what we need right now, Kenya's disease is leadership that is unworthy, that is not trustworthy. To know leaders, you must look at their journey. If we are fighting corruption and impunity so that our resources may be used for the benefit of the people, ask yourself, that leader, you give that MCA seat all the way up to the presidency, are they leaders of integrity? Are they people who have been involved in corruption before? Because if they have been involved in corruption, they are unlikely to fight corruption. What have they done with their position when they were in power? Do they respect the judicial process, the due process, or do they take shortcuts? You know, you've got to look at all those things. And for people in parliament, even those now in the opposition or the one-term movement, we want to know you through this current finance bill. We want to see how many will stand in parliament and talk about it in a way that resonates with the people. And I'll say hats off to Didi Nyoro. I had him in parliament and I actually texted him to congratulate him. When you are a member of parliament, the ordinary person, those of us who are not in parliament, cannot utilize that space to talk. Don't just talk about the finance bill in a funeral, in a media house like this one, and ignore talking about it in parliament if you're a member of parliament. You can talk about it additionally outside of parliament, but let us hear you in parliament. You are elected to go to that space called parliament. You are elected to go to that space called county assembly. If you don't talk there, you should not be re-elected. You should not be elected if you're not capable of articulating people's needs, because nobody else can come to that space except those who are elected.
Our time is running out, but Martha, we've got to ask you this, that even as you speak about the opposition and whether it's united or not, that there's several people who want to be president. Are you still one of them?
Yes. In fact, the menu should keep getting richer because it's not only those of us in the united opposition who have voiced wanting to be president. There are others outside of it. There are the likes of Managa, Okia Umtata, Ruben Kigame, and there are many others who will come. Let the menu be rich. Even in the united opposition, I don't believe that we will retreat to a boardroom and come out with a candidate. We must refer to who among us Kenyans would trust most. So there must be repeat polls that will guide. So Kenyans, over to you. Interrogate everybody, including myself, those who want to be president, and give Kenya what it deserves. And interrogate those who are currently occupying positions. Don't trust their words. People say one thing, and please, even if you get money, do not go with money. Go with your gut feeling. Yesterday, I was in the village burying my father's brother. In a local language, we call them Baba Mudogo. So a youth came to me, to my car as I was leaving, and told me that he is PLP and if I could do something. I told him, if we talk about money, then you better return the incumbents. Just go for Kasongo because he's the one giving money. That youth told me, if that is how it translates, let the money stay. I want out of this government. So we really must tell each other that it cannot be about money.
Yes.
It's about what people stand for.
She's a presidential aspirant as well as the leader of the PLP party, Martha Karua. Thank you for being here with us this morning.
Asante.
The conversations must continue.